if you actually want just the facts told to you in a very clear, very understandable way, you should watch David Attenborough's documentaries. He does that really well. And that's the thing, is that we're not trying to do what has already been done. We're trying to work out how can you engage people in a different way. And that was something that we sort of kept on coming back to in the rehearsal process is, well, what can we do differently, because we're a theatre show? So we don't need to be an academic lecture, and we can let the science inform it, and we can talk about this stuff, but how can we do that differently? And for us, it was about for us, it came down to this sort of like this understanding that money is kind of feels like it's just it feels like the biggest problem that everything comes down to with the climate crisis is that we just consume too much, and we want too many things, and that really could be described as the problem in a nutshell, and that leads off to everything. At the same time, it also feels that money is one of the best ways of making your protest.
Yeah.
And potentially more than how you vote, it feels that how you spend your pound is actually maybe more impactful. And so the entire piece is basically just that. And we don't come out explicitly and say that, because we hope that the audience will put the pieces together for themselves. And maybe there are other strands, and maybe we are really on the nose of it. I don't know. That's more for an audience to decide than for me. But through this sort of casino game where we show that you are basically gambling for the planet through your choices to try and earn this real cash prize. And I think, so it's then just trying to, and then alongside that, trying to put in these distractions, trying to put in this other stuff that comes. So you get a message on your phone whilst you're, at the same time that you decide that you're not going to invest in protecting the house, and you're actually going to try and shore up your own finances in this game, you also get a text about moving to Mars, and because the Earth is it's just trying to sort of nudge people in different ways. And I think different people get different things from it. But I think hopefully that allows us to sort of reach people wherever they are at their own level of climate understandings and what's going on in their own lives, is that hopefully it nudges you to do a little bit more. And maybe for some people that is to think about their own lives and impacts, and so maybe to consider going vegan, or to consider buying clothes from charity shops rather than buying them new. And maybe they seem quite seemingly small things, and maybe for other people it's about pushing them forwards more in terms of activism. And that I don't want to come out there and be like, there's one sort of like takeaway that you need to have from this, or that this is the correct answer, because the answer is that there isn't a sort of a really simple thing, and because also it's linked into government, it's structures and it's businesses and governments, as well as individual change. But the thing is that both of them are obviously linked, is you can't have system change without individual change, because that pushes for system change. But also, in order to make your individual change more impactful, you also need a systemic change. And I think people are wrong when they say it's going to be solved entirely by you changing your life. Or I think people are also wrong though when they say don't worry about what you're doing because it needs a system change, is that they're both. And so it's just trying to sort of nudge people and make and draw these connections, and hopefully audiences pick up on them.